Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and welcome. And this is Rogue, who struggles to lick my, I don't like dogs licking my face. Or I put up with it once in a while. I don't mind her licking me other places. I don't mind her licking my hands. I don't mind her licking, other places. I don't like her licking my face. I woke her up. She may want to go back and lie down. Or she may want to lie down here. I don't know. So July started, so I have some new starts. I have some crocheting and some whips. And before we get started with that, life updates, I will probably have cataract surgery next month. So I don't know how much cross stitching I'll be getting done, but I will still try, and I'm not looking forward to it, and yet I am, because I'm hoping that it'll alleviate some of the vision problems I'm having. Sometimes I feel like I'm not looking at the camera. Where's the camera? Over here? I don't know, it's really hard. So, yeah. Now, I may want to put it off. We'll see. Oh. So, yeah. And I do want to say that I have been and will continue to be praying for all of those in Texas that are affected by this flooding. Having lived in areas where it's really dry, the ground cannot absorb the water. It just can't. And flash floods, they happen in a second. And where I grew up, there were a lot of flash flood areas, where it said don't go through if there's standing water. And just this wonderful camp that was affected by this. It's just nothing that could have been predicted or seen, there's nothing they could have done to make it safer. Flash floods are they come in an instant. So I'm hoping that all or most of the missing are found safe, and for the families that are being affected by this. So it feels weird to be talking about a cheerful topic after seeing what's going on in the world right now. There was a lot of sadness this past week in the United States. So, and I'm not talking about political things, okay? I'm talking about events like the fireworks storage building that, I'm talking about things like that. There are days that I have to ignore the news because it is too, it starts affecting my life, but there's no way I can go on without addressing. We have a lot of viewers, and not me personally, Flosstube, and Flosstubers in Texas. So lots of families are being affected by this. Enough of that topic. Enough of my eyes. So one of my new starts is OMG tree, and it says OMG, they got me a whole tree. I didn't have a huge start. I didn't have a lot time to work on it that day. I just got in, they got me a whole tree and part of the tree. I don't think I'm going to be putting this away I'm just like the deer, I'm going to keep it out and work on it intermittently because it is a very small pattern. So, and it's on Ada, which makes it easy for me to see. So who knows what I'll be able to see while they're doing the cataract surgery. So yeah, my plans will change. I did my CrossstitchCamp start, Jingleberry by Erica Michaels, and it was supposed to be do something by your favorite designer. I love making berries, and I've done quite a few of Erica Michaels berries. The other berries I've worked on, I haven't finished. I tend to finish hers, sometimes slower than I'd like, but yeah. I do have other favorite designers. Stitching with the Housewives, I have a lot of their patterns. As a matter of fact, I stopped watching their Flosstube because I just can't afford to just keep buying patterns. It's some I bought and haven't even looked at, like the gingerbread one, or Jingle Bell Cafe. I want to do those, but everything in its own time, right? So this is how far I've gotten on Jingleberry. The reason it's looking like I didn't stitch it correctly is because there's a snowflake right there. And there's one here, and there's two on this side, and there's more ribbon, and then ho 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 down here. I'm thinking I'm going to do the ho 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 so that I can get that finished, and then I'm going to finish the green. I'm all done with the gold color, and I did put treasure braid on top of that, so you can kind of see a tiny little bit of shiny there. Since I have shiny fabric and I put shiny on the bells, like, should I put shiny on the snowflakes like I often do? I'm thinking no. I want to finish it with the little bells on top. I love this finish with the little pom-pom and little bells. So I wanted the bell in the design to be shiny. So, and that's why I use the treasure braid. They helped me at the attic. I was going to get an accentuate that matched that thread. I bought the thread, and I was going to get an accentuate that matched it, but that treasure braid matched it better. I did not like working with treasure braid. It's not really a blending filament. When you work with it by itself, it's a lot easier to handle. But when I tried to put it with the thread, it got very hard to pull through the holes, and it would kind of make things knot, and it was just awful. But when I worked with it by itself to put it on top, it was fine. And I didn't do a cross. I just did one because the gold color matched it very well, and so I just wanted to add a little bit of shine to it. So yeah. Now, one of the two patterns that I plan to focus on this month, although I haven't been doing much focusing, I've worked on it one day, is, and I found the name, it's called Watercolor Trees. And I'm hoping that once I finish that berry, I can really focus on this and on plant pots. I'm more wanting to finish this than I'm worried about plant pots. And I'll tell you why in a second. You can see this color? That color is, there's a lot of that color. And it's so hard to see against the fabric. And the icon on the pattern is very difficult to see. So, and that was difficult to see before I was really struggling. So I do want to work on this. my son's girlfriend gave it to me. I don't remember if it was for Christmas or for my birthday. And so she gave me a lovely bag. And I haven't used it at all. So I really want to finish this so she can see that, I appreciated it. Plant pots I'm working on from one of my sisters, and she would totally understand. So, now, another Dirty Annie's pattern, Winter Reindeer. I absolutely love this. And I got finished with all the gray. And I was putting in the white. And I just couldn't stand doing it anymore. But since I don't have to count and I just have to just fill in, it's a great one for working on when I just want to watch TV or sit back and do something not difficult. So I will get it done. I'm not putting this away. And it's not going to be in my morning rotation where the next one of the next ones is. But it's one of those that maybe in an evening I'll pull it out and do a row or two. I think I have 8 rows of white left. But after I got all of these little swirly things done, I was just so, I don't want to work on that. Yeah. So, okay. Under the sea temperature chart, we are around July. So, June ended with a really hot day. I don't remember the temperature, but it was the darkest color, the hottest color, which meant it was over 111. Right there. And then here's the beginning of July, and that will go all the way across. I hope I counted right. It looks like it's going to get really close to June when it gets across there. I'm not going to worry about it unless it runs into it. So I'm going to have to go check on it. 2 of the days in here it rained. Not a lot, not tons, but it rained. So that's why it was cooler. Now it's going to be 109 today. I have to go out in the heat. Fortunately, my car is in the garage. So, yeah, now I'm looking at it, I'm all worried. Do I need to frog those and they need to go down or whatever? I don't think so. I just want them to not run into each other. No, I think they're fine. Okay. So that is my temperature chart. And if you're working on my temperature chart, I'd love it if you'd send me a picture of it at the end of the year. I plan to put a real picture of it up on the website instead of the generated one. And I'm going to put a few tweaks, like the way I did the daily color. But yeah. And my last whip for cross stitch is Winter Deer by Tiny Modernist. That's the back side. Now you know what backside of mine look like. It's starting to get ahead. Yeah. I think before I start working on the baubles and everything, I think I'm going to backstitch the deer. And then I'll start working on the rest of it. so I don't have all that back stitching to do all at the same time. The problem with that thought is his antlers are kind of part of the baubles. But I mean, once I get up here, I'm gonna do all around the deer. Then I'll do the antlers and all of these ornaments, and I'll go ahead and backstitch that. And then I'll do this around here, get the backstitching on that. This part only has backstitching on the berries. But I like to backstitch as I go as much as I can. So I've done some more work on, did I get out the patterns? No. No, I did not. I've done some more work on the animal hug cup. I'm working on the cat, which you can't really see. And so I'm almost done with the body of it. Then I have to do the feet like this. And this one has a tail and 2 different color ears. And that's a better picture of it. I'm supposed to make a kiwi and just put it in there. It doesn't say to glue it in or anything, I don't think, but I'm not going to glue it. I'm not going to be gluing that in there. I'm going to be making them like coasters. Sorry. Did I read ahead? No, because I don't plan to do that. One of them has orange slice, the other one has the cat is kiwi, and the other one is, no, you just pop it in there. I don't know one thing. Anyway. That's what I'm working on there. And then I am almost at the point where I turn it in and stitch it closed. I have to decide, this is where the back is, and so technically it should be like this. Now I have this little bit of where the threads, I had to splice them together, and I can put that on either side, so I'm not worried about that. And that would be like turning it in this way. But I like the way that looks better. So I'd rather this be on, this part be on the bottom. When I weaved it in, it just really, I don't like the way it looks. And rather than undo that, I'm gonna just have the pretty side be facing up, because if I make those coasters, then it'll be with this side facing up. You can't really see. This side facing up, where you can't see the weave in. So, and I've made plenty of mistakes on this, but I'm happy enough with the product that I'm not going to worry about it. And then the second thing is, this is kind of part of haul. I bought this because I had tried this pattern in just regular acrylic yarn, and this is cotton yarn. And this is a cup holder. It's going to have a strap, but I might alter the pattern a little bit. I don't really need a strap, but it's for, my dog is behind me, probably going to squish her now. It'll go up like this. Up the sides. And it looks prettier once you see it all pulled up, right? Anyway, I'm supposed to do one more row of this, but I think I'm aiming at a cup this high. So I might do 2 more rows. I don't know. And then the top before you make a strap. But I just want to make it where I can carry a cup without needing 2 hands. I have to think about how long a strap I'd want, because this particular cup doesn't close very easily. I mean, where it's not going to spill. And of course, then what would I do with the straw? Because I can drink out of it without a straw, but I'd rather not. So I have to think carefully on that. And that is a free pattern I found on YouTube. You can purchase the pattern. Well, by the way, here's a picture of the pattern, and it's by Briana K. You can purchase the pattern to make a larger version of that, and I think that would be more for an even bigger cup than that. You know, there's some that are bigger. I don't know about the ones with the handles. She might have a different one for one with a handle, but I liked the pattern when I saw it on YouTube, and I seriously considered getting the pattern, but I don't think I need it bigger. And my sister talked to me about a designer that she saw that did a different kind of cup holder kind of thing, and I like that, but I'd already started on this one, and I like that circle leaf pattern that's on there. It's pretty easy to do. And I like the other pattern that she did on the one I found of her. She has 3 or 4, and I wasn't going to go searching that far through YouTube. Sorry, I accidentally kicked the camera. Yeah. And then lastly, a little bit of haul. This is what I had planned for next month. I probably won't be able to stitch on black if I'm getting my eyes worked on. You know, strongly encouraging, since I'm having surgery on my eyes, to go ahead and have my astigmatism repaired so that I wouldn't need to wear glasses, or if I did, just reading glasses. So it would be $5,200, something like that. I was like, tempting, but no. That's a lot of money for something that I've put up with all of my life. I just want to get the clouds out of my eyes so that I can see crisp when I put on my glasses. I was hoping, when I had these new glasses made, I was hoping that I would be able to see more clearly my stitching and stuff. The problem is the cataract is directly in the middle, and that's why it's causing so much trouble. I don't know if I'm going to need to have new glasses made afterward, but I think I'm just going to put up with my astigmatism. I think that I've worn glasses since I was 3, and I'll just have to just continue to live with that. It'd be different if I had a full-time job and I could save up that kind of money and didn't need it for paying bills, that sort of thing. But, and it's so tempting that I go, and you probably would only need reading glasses. Well, the whole reason I want the cataracts is for reading, for doing stitching, for seeing up close. If it's just going to fix my distance vision, I don't know. So, yeah. There's that. Anyway, I am done. I thought briefly about doing a mid-year whip parade, but I decided against it. I have too many whips, and I don't want to go in there and find out how many whips I have, because way too many. So that's the whole reason I decided to just use WIPGO for new starts, because I have plenty of patterns for new starts. You know me, I tend to new start at the drop of a hat, which is why I have so many whips. And I'm trying to, with the concentrating on this or that, to get rid of some of these whips, as shown by the fact that I stopped stitching on the winter reindeer when I was getting close to finishing it. I didn't finish it. Yeah. Because there's concentrating and then there's concentrating. And when I'm doing CrossstitchCamp, I'm concentrating on that. So, yeah. Anyway, I will see you in a week. Happy stitching and stay safe. Bye.